Yeah, let's get it going. I'm interested to see the matchups. Do you know what leaders we have?
Yeah, it's just on the screen now, so you can watch without getting spoiled on the time. It's GP Luffy against Blue Purple Luffy.
Oh, I feel like we've seen this matchup recently from Laboon. I think that might have been his last game was against a blue purple Luffy. So
Yeah,
should be an interesting playback for him.
those are two very popular and strong decks, so it's not surprising.
It's the battle of the Gum Gum Giants.
Yes. We-
Both players look like they've got a pretty good start, although Laboon here didn't find any of his Nami searches early on.
yes.
But he does get that merry-go, and he does get the Sanji pudding anyway. That's a really good start.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Blue Purple Luffy playing down the Zorojiro, I think, is a pretty safe bet, as Green Purple Luffy doesn't often run a lot of removal.
You could rest it with something like the Green Zoro or Radio Knife, but in the current meta, most people aren't running that card. And him playing Zorojiro here means that he's on 4 Don, so Laboon doesn't ramp. Because if he played Bonklay, it doesn't draw. Because if he had played Bonklay, then Laboon could have drawn off Sanji Pudding's on play effect.
Oh, very
Yeah,
smart. That delayed ramp from the Zorojiro, you're absolutely right, stops
yeah,
the draw from Laboon. But we
yeah.
all know how Green Purple Leafy works. I'm sure he'll get that hand size right up.
Yeah, for sure. The stage is very
So
important.
RJ here not choosing to attach any Dom to Zorojiro, just swinging the forward just to get the ramp.
Mm.
And we'll see what play he makes now. He's on 7 Dom now. 4, 5, 6, 7. If he can get one more ramp this turn, if he has maybe a Gear 2 in hand or a Mr. 2, he could get his leader ability next turn. That could be very strong for RJ.
For sure, yeah. He definitely needs to find ramp here. I mean, just playing down a 9 drop is not too bad, but of course, we want to draw and stack our deck. We put it at the bottom. Unfortunate. And then we see Freedom being
Some
rested.
umming and ahhing, and he does get the ramp. Very
Yes,
nice.
he passes.
It doesn't swing. Very interesting with his leader. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the general strategy from the blue purple side to starve green purple. He might have just forgot on the first turn
Oh.
and hit him. But yeah, in general, that's like good practice. It's not too uncommon anymore.
Okay, so the strategy is starve the green purple Luffy player, make them go sideways with their characters, and then you can swing over them with your bigger characters.
Yes, you win the late game against that deck. So as long as you survive and clear their board, you're fine. But we see a very strong opening here from Laboon. The Frank is very strong to get the Don back. We see double Sanji Pudding and Luffy Taro, the best card in this
It's
matchup.
just restand for Dawn. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Interesting there that RJ counted out to save the Zorojuro there. I don't think he'll get much opportunity for the ramp there, but maybe he just wants another poke at the Frankie on the crackback, or just to stop the green purple Luffy hitting his leader. And then this is an 8 at life.
Mhm.
Gonna be putting some pressure on RJ here. Is this what a green purple Luffy's looking to do in this matchup? Just really aggro down the blue purple Luffy?
Yes, you're gonna lose the late game. So if you play slow, you're gonna lose the game. That's why Luffy Tower is the best card in that matchup because you just want to go 8 until your opponent dies. Sometimes you can swing nines because, like, for example, if they 9 mom and stuff, then they only have 9 done, so they cannot giant. But yeah, in general, it's always just 8s. And then this is like really big because we see double stage here. We get both Sanji puddings to 7 cost, so none of them can be put in life.
Oh, of course, with that 9 cost Big Mum. As well, we could have seen a Grav Blade come out, and now both are protected from that.
Mm.
I think Blue Purple Luffy lists tend to run maybe 1 or 2 of the Grav Blades these days.
Yeah, some do because of Bello Betty and stuff. Maybe some teachers around. So yeah, we see some Gravity Blade in some lists. Some run Red Rock, some run Gravity Blade. He's on Red Rock. We have the deck list as a command.
Oh, yes, chat. Feel free to type in !deck list. You'll see both
Yeah,
players' deck
but
lists. Of course, they don't know each other's deck lists, do they?
no, they don't. You can also you can only try to find out your opponent's deck list by watching like old VODs and stuff, like going through the old stuff or just tracking
Oh,
the
yeah.
opponent's deck
Cheeky bit of
list.
information gathering.
Yeah, because if they play the same deck, then the deck list probably not like needs not 100% the same, but it's like probably equal. But yeah, last turn I didn't like that we ended up ignoring the Zorojuro because this Zorojuro is at some point gonna ramp the Don back from something like Linlin, and that enables a giant.
Of course, yeah. That could be pretty crucial later on.
Yeah,
Interesting note about RJ's list. He's not running the standard Blue Purple Luffy list. He is running the Don Quixote Doflamingo Pirates variant that won the Las Vegas regionals recently, I believe. Kind of hit the meta unexpectedly, and it's doing quite well. That Rosinante restanding 2 Don is just what you need.
yeah.
What's your thoughts about this variant?
I don't like the entire deck list of like just playing full Don Quixote pirates, like the 8-drop and the Sugar Searcher and like the Yola or whatever it's called 2K. I think just playing Rosinante alone is probably good enough. Like maybe like every time you would play an army, you could also slot in something like Rosinante. So like that's maybe enough. But playing Sanji into 8-drop into 5 drops, just style points.
Oh, another interesting thing to note: he's not running the full playset of Sanji's, nor the Big Moms. So this could be pretty tight for Blue Purple Luffy's top end here if he doesn't see it.
Yeah, he's pushing the limits of the leader ability for sure. It's definitely greedy.
Okay, so we see some swings here from Laboon, just really trying to poke RJ down, get some resources out of hand. He's already had to use all of his Don on some counter events, and yeah, so he's just hoping to get a few more. He's still got his leader swing and quite a lot of Don available. And with Green Purple Luffy's ability, of course, you can just restand a lot of it with all this
Yeah.
Sanji pudding. So he goes for the Luffy Terror, the second one coming down. That's going to be so good for him. And the third Sanji pudding.
Yeah.
Oh, this is looking like a pretty good board for Laboon here.
Yeah, this is Exodia. Now you start ramping with Sanji puddings because you return 2 and get 3 Don back.
So he has 5 active Don here.
Yes, yes, 5 active Don on this turn left.
So strong. And he's still got quite a healthy hand size here because the Sanji pudding drawing him that card on play. Really strong here.
Yeah, Sanji pudding does a lot. Like it draws cards, it gives you Don, it has vanilla stat line, it's a straw hat. There's just a lot of good things about that card.
I'm starting to think here that even if RJ gets the 9 cost Big Mom on his turn and returns the Sanji pudding that's not got the buffed cost, that still might not be enough. He's only
Yeah.
got 3 cards in hand. He'll be going 1 with leader ability, 1 with his regular draw. 5 cards. He's going to have to play something to protect himself. So he's going to go down a pretty low hand size here.
Yeah, and there's a lot of 8K swings waiting for him.
Absolutely. I think the The play here from Laboon with 3 Don left standing, it's going to be very hard to clear these bodies. So I think he's just going to be protecting it as much as he can.
Yeah, if he plays a 9 mom here, he heals and puts one away, but that only also means he only has like a 6k swing or 7k if he wants to in the 9k swing. So it's probably just the 9 mom removing a body and everything else survives.
Absolutely. Well, you know what could be good here is if he does get the 9 mom and I was going to say heals a Graph Blade into the trigger, but that he's not running the Graph Blade. That could have been an amazing trigger. Get rid of one Sanji pudding with the 9 mom. He takes the next life, triggers Graph Blade, bottom decks another Sanji pudding. Would have been excellent. But unfortunately, that's not the case here. So we see a 9 swing from Sanji going into. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. It's just Gum Gum Giant, sorry, to counter out.
Yeah, it is likely into Sanji pudding. I think if it was 9k into life, then Laboon takes it. There's no point bringing into life right now. Definitely need to survive somehow. We see the mom. Bitch.
Absolutely. Oh, it's like
Nami.
you said, though, that Zoro Duro could be pretty clutch here.
Yeah.
Ramps the extra Don.
Yeah, it gets you back 1 Don, so Giant doesn't punish you as much. He also gets back 2 Don from his Rocinante if he wants to.
Oh, that's so good. Does he? Does he want to?
Maybe he forgot. Probably gonna do it now. Oh, I think he forgot.
Oh no,
No.
RJ.
It's not like a
Oh, that
mandatory
2
action
extra
also.
Don could have been so crucial. It's not mandatory. My judge radar's going off here, and I don't have to remind the player there. I mean, we're pretty casual here, and these games are ultimately about improving the overall competitive nature of all of these players. So I'm sure Laboon might be nice here and might let him restand the 2 Don. Who
Probably
knows?
both
But
players
I
have
would say it's a bit
dismissed
too
it.
late now here.
Yeah.
God,
If
it's
you
almost as
die.
bad as when was it? Jack not drawing 2 cards?
Yeah. Jack not drawing off Tempest Kick and Stronger.
Sorry to bring it up again, Jack.
It was 40 degrees. Got us some slack.
Got that. Anyway, thank you so much for setting up this league. God, we're just going to be. The stream's just going to end. Jack just ends it now. Oh my god. Okay, so it looks like that's an 8k swing from the Luffy Taro into life. Counted out the first one, counted out the second, and now with this Luffy Taro, he's going to have to take. And he's still got another Luffy Taro and his leader swing here.
Yeah, we don't have
It's
any
looking
done.
pretty rough for RJ. I think Laboon could possibly push for lethal here.
Yeah, he goes 10. Makes sense. And we get to do leader ability.
Just get those 2 Dom back as active. And that's a huge swing, and RJ just scoops.
Yes.
Well, that was game 1. Goes to Laboon on green purple Luffy. Very well played.
Yeah. Let's just go right back into game 2 then. There's
Absolutely.
no
So
time wasted.
yeah, let's get into it. So what are you thinking RJ needs to do here to maybe clutch the second game?
I mean, the interesting choice is that RJ in both games got to choose, and he choose second. So there's like, you could say a bit of an argument whether you want first or second in these matchups, because both players with like best high roll curve in this matchup is going first. like triple ramp from the blue purple side, and also like Luffy Taro and like Sanji Pudding Frankie into Luffy Taro Sanji Pudding from Laboon. So both players, if they see their pieces, are pretty comfortable going first. But the more stable curve, I would say, is going second for both of them, because like playing Zorojuro, playing Sanji Pudding on 6, or as the blue purple just double ramping is more, I'd say, guaranteed. So he chooses like the more stable curve over the more high rolly curve. But yeah, as you can see, Laboon is digging through the deck, so he might not get away with putting Laboon first, because like going first is miserable if you miss your pieces for both decks. Like not seeing Luffy Taro is pretty bad for GP, and you're ARJ and you go first, you only see like if you see one ramp, it's fine because you ramp into 9 Don, into 8 Don, I meant. But he's not running kata, so he has to have the Kataku, the Dofi if he wants it. So he needs double ramp, but then double ramps only into like a 9 drop from hand.
Yeah, absolutely. I think oh, here comes the Sanchi pudding that I just searched out. It is wild that RJ there didn't play a Mr. 2 or a Zorojuro. That's gonna really set him back here in this game. Or even a Gear 2. Didn't even ramp with a Gear 2.
Yeah, he just passed, he drew and passed. And yeah, we see the we see this thing I talked about. We have stage, we have Sanji Pudding and Frankie, so we're back on 5, which is important, because if you don't have Frankie, if you play Sanji Pudding, you can't really use leader ability, because it would set you back to 4 down, and you can't play Ufitaro the turn after. But given RJ didn't ramp, if you play Sanji Pudding and don't leader, you can't also you also don't have stage live, so you wouldn't be able to protect your Sanji Pudding from God Threat.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely. We just saw the power of it there. Sanji pudding being a 7 cost. I'm sure RJ would have loved to KO it, but unfortunately, KO's 5 cost, not an original cost. We're seeing a lot more cards these days. Say KO an original cost
that
to
would
get around
be
those kind of protections.
insane for that card to say original cost.
Oh my god, and the Boon finds Luffy Taro into another Sanji pudding, gets the draw off the Sanji pudding. Yeah, got a bit of deja vu here, I think.
Yeah, this is the point where RJ is already like really behind, and Laboon is pretty happy. And then yeah, we see double stage again. So it's like game 1, we get punished with double stage on this turn. I guess this turn it wasn't too necessary, because like he only has 8 on, not 9. So Gravity Blade doesn't hit something. I mean, now you're protected from Gravity Blade, but it only would have gotten rid of one Sanji Pudding. So you could even have waited a turn with the stage, because probably not gonna Gravity Blade your one Sanji Pudding.
Absolutely. But interesting pass there from Laboon. Didn't swing with his leader or his Sanji pudding. Opting to instead just wait it out, maybe build a bigger board before he goes to those sideways swings.
Yeah, I know the reason why he didn't swing. Because of Thunder Bagua, which rams it on when used, but what Laboon didn't know is that Thunder Bagua only rams if the opponent has 2 or less life. So he could have
Of
swung.
course, so the ramp condition wasn't active.
Yeah. He could have
He
swung, but
could
it
have
didn't
got a
run.
6k in. Well, he's still got pretty big board. He's still pretty far ahead, so we'll see what happens with it. And RJ remembering to get the 2 extra Dom from Rosinante there. Ooh, so I think, if Laboon really wants to cement his position, another Luffy Taro into Sanji Pudding would
Yeah.
be
I think
insane.
ARJ would flip his desk at this point.
But it looks like maybe he'll just go, he's just going for some 8k swings, trying to get some resources out of RJ's hand, trying to get some life burned But RJ here has a pretty sizable hand here about to go into his leader ability a turn.
Was the
So
best.
Laboon's really got to make the most of this turn, I feel like.
He didn't use stage on his active Sanji pudding, so if we were running Gravity Blade, it could have bottomed it on the trigger.
Of course. Is he instead saving it for another character who's going to play active that maybe he wants to save from a 9 cost?
Yeah,
The
that's
9
what
cost Big Mom, potentially?
he don't tell us. Rest 6 to play 6 of Luffy.
Oh, the rush Luffy. Now this is interesting because this card punishes the starve strategy. RJ's been starving out Laboon here, leaving him on the 4 life. And this rush Luffy says, no. Let me get one of those lives. Right to your hand.
Yeah. It's expensive though, like -2. But yeah, you can do that for sure. Swing 6.
There's going to be 2 9k swings here.
Yes.
Yep, he returns the Don. Restands leader, takes his life. And then another 9k swing here. And that forces out the Jofi blocker. Really nicely done. So now RJ really needs to stabilize here. He could really do with a Sanji into a Big Mom.
Yeah, Sanji Big Mom and some good events on to use. Yeah, he's facing another double attack next turn. And there's still a lot of Sanji puddings and Luffy Taros on the board, so it's gonna be a lot of 8 until he runs out of cards.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a lot of pressure coming at RJ next turn, especially as there's no way he can clear this 6-drop Luffy unless, there's no Don active on Laboon's side and he's got no blockers. Maybe just a big swing and then plays a chump blocker, does it?
Yeah.
But on the flip side, that then doesn't develop his board, which he really needs to do, get those big 9k bodies out. But we'll see what he does here. He does tap 9. Sanji, ooh, the lovely SP Sanji into the Big Mom. Very nicely done.
Hot take, the regular art looks better. The regular art, not the regular art in general. Maybe it's a hot take.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I mean, what do you think about this SP style in general?
I feel like they look a bit awkward as cards, like just an entire like character on it. He looks so small on this card. Because like usually the cards are pretty zoomed in. I feel like there's cards in this game that look cool as cards, but look weird in a deck. Like if you're playing wanted cards in your decks, also like there's just a bunch of characters and then there's a wanted post on your board. Like these cards look insane and they're nice collectible items, but in a deck they feel very weird.
Absolutely. I think one of the weirdest things was when I was floor walking at a regional and I saw someone playing some of the characters from the live action collection. And at the stop, I was just like, are those proxy cards? Like, what? So, yeah, some of them do look a bit weird on the board. But yeah, this is looking like a pretty good turn for Laboon here. He's just going to start poking with that Sanji pudding for 8, see if he can bait out some counter from RJ. Oh, oh, there's a misplay there.
Judge?
Yeah. Oh, there he
He
gets it.
realized it.
God damn. Of course, Thunderbagua rests the rested Don. It always confused me sometimes because the trigger lets you ramp an active Don, but the effect is ramp a rested Don. on you. So I sometimes got
Yeah.
those mixed up back in the OP2 days.
I mean, if that wasn't like an OP1 card, that would ramp active.
Yeah,
Pretty
true.
sure.
The power creep is real.
It also would
So
work
it
like
looks
at
like.
any time and not just 2 life.
Oh my god, that'd be crazy. So Laboon here plays the Zoroduro, finds an Usohachi, very nice card. Going to be really good in the late game to rest some of RJ's chump blockers, like the Nami, like the Dofi blocker. He can't feel too comfortable hiding behind those. And yeah, just uses leader ability, restands. 3 Don. He only has 1 Sanji putting up. It's not that good.
Yeah. That's a low roll.
And he's got a lot of Don to play with here. Doesn't look like he's gonna develop any other bodies, so I think he might just swing with leader and then swing big with this Luffy again. He's still on 4 life. So he has a lot of life to take. And
Yeah.
I know that RJ has these 2 9k bodies and the Resonante and leader swing, but I think Laboon here can afford to go down to 3 life.
Yeah. These bodies are gonna swing into the bot. This is like a one like it's the progression of Laboon is like one turn too fast for RJ to keep up a bit. Like it's not looking great, but if he had like one more life, then would look pretty decent for RJ. Oh, we see Gravity Blade. Are we being light on what the deck is?
Whoa!
Oh yeah, we've got light too.
Oh,
That's a game
Judge, we
loss.
need a deck check on this, man. Yeah, give him a game loss.
That's a game loss, RJ. To hear that's a game loss.
Don't get what happens.
Okay,
Come
so
on.
we
But
do.
interestingly enough, that Thunder Bagwell ramp really helped. It allowed him to play out that Gum Gum Giant. Don -2, but he get the 1 ramp, so now he's still on 8 Don. And he still gets his leader ability next turn. So that Thunder Bagwell really coming in clutch there.
Yeah. And now the best card in the game, Chopper.
Of course, the Reiju player says that.
It's my profile picture everywhere.
A very good card. Although, of course, very dangerous for green purple Luffy. If they don't get it off their board, it blocks your leader ability because this chopper specifically is not Straw Hat Crew type.
Yeah, if you play
So
that card early,
yeah,
then that can be risky, but that's why you don't do it. You generally play it when your opponent is forced straight into your board, then that's the time to play it. If you play it in the early game, let's say on 5 Don, you play a Sanji Pudding leader and then play the chopper to get the Don back. You're on 5 Don, which is great, but then if your opponent doesn't swing, because there's usually no need to swing at that point, then yeah, you're stuck with the chopper. So you
yeah, that is a huge
yeah.
misplay. You miss out on 1 leader ability, maybe even 2 if they still don't swing the next turn.
Yeah. You definitely protected play it to protect the board, not just like Frankie.
Really good here, really good spot. Um, just having a look here at Laboon's list, looks like he isn't running any of the blocker Robins. So this might be his only chump blocker to protect his board here.
Yeah, the blocker Robins have been like removed from a lot of deck lists from GP players simply because in this meta you kind of want Frankie because like in OP and in EB before OP 11 most people wouldn't weren't playing a lot of Frankies because they were like not that great in the mirror and like not great in most matchups or not necessary into most matchups. But against blue purple and the other ramp decks like purple and stuff, your opponent usually has more don than you, so you get insane Frankie value. Usually it rams you 2 don because you rams it on play and then you rams it when attacking. When in EB you usually only rammed when attacking because you were at the on play wasn't live, especially mirror.
Wow, very interesting.
Yeah.
Um, very interesting to see those. Like, those are the 2 slots there. You either choose Frankie or choose Robin.
And I mean, yeah, and Chopper got more popular as well for equal reasons. Because like we have these game states a lot where UP starves the GP player, and then you have a rested board, and that Chopper just defends it. And it enables Giant because like it gets it on back, so your Giant doesn't hurt you as much. So it's like insanely defensive, really strong.
Absolutely. And we saw it here. The 9K swings were coming in from RJ, and Laboon was able to just use that chopper, block one. It's like he did nothing. And he also, we saw there earlier, he used the Gum Gum Jet Gatling, got rid of Gamma Knife. Very interesting. Usually a very good card in this matchup to get some of those bigger bodies down to a killable level. Minus 5,000 power there on the effect. What do you think? Do you think he maybe should have kept that Gamma Knife in hand?
No, I think pressuring life is always going to be more important, but because if you find yourself in the position that you have to gamma knife the opponent's bot to keep up, that's already like losing position for the green purple player. Because let's say there's 2 life right now instead of 1, and we had like a decent amount of cards in hand. If we just gamma knife one of the bodies and then the body takes like 2 swings to die, and then we swing once life, and then like our board is exposed, our opponent still has like 2 9 costs on the board, and we are slowly running out of cards, then RJ is probably winning this. But we have to close it this turn or next turn, probably this turn, because like we definitely don't keep our board for the turn after this. So it's in Laboon's best interest to just finish the game now.
Absolutely. He needs to go all in here. It's a real shame, though, that because of how tight the leader ability is, you have to run a lot of Straw Hat Crew. Um, he's not running Hody. No list run Hody, so that could have been really good in this spot. And it is
Yeah,
legal to run, so it
Hody
could have
is
been very
crazy. Yeah.
good.
If you there has been a wave of people playing a one of Hody in A. That's
Oh, really?
yeah. So it's not like impossible that your opponent runs it. And then there's next turn. There's just a straw at Hody event. So next turn, next set we do have Hody basically on a stick.
Oh, of course, that event is so strong.
Ashura something something something. It's really strong, especially because it costs 4, so you return 2, and then if let's say you have 2 Sanji puddings on the board, then yeah, it's
Oh,
just
it's like he
3.
played it for zero
Yeah,
Don.
it's 3, or it just costs 1 or something. It's uh, it's it's really strong. Yeah, it's really annoying to deal with.
And then on top of that, it's so flexible as a counter as well.
Yeah, but
Plus
it
3k
only
counter to your
protects
leader.
leader. Yeah, which in this game state where we're trying to starve the green purple player and just swing into his rested board is not that great. Like it's not that useful, but we could cycle it off with giant if we're being starved and stuff.
Absolutely. Oh, interesting here from Laboon. I'm not sure if he's just delayed it a bit, but choosing not to restand the Rush Luffy here. Do you think another one's coming down?
No, I can I can tell you why he did that. He thought it that gravity blade trigger would could kill a 6 drop, and he has more Don than his opponent, so he couldn't use stage. So he didn't want to commit a lot of Don and restanding it on his Luffy because he thought if he gets like gravity blade triggered, then he loses the game. That's what he thought. But yeah, that couldn't happen.
Yeah, very interesting there. Uh, decides to swing with Zorage.
Yeah.
Okay, I might be forgetting turns here. Didn't he just play that out this
No, no,
turn?
he played it last turn.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Well, and that's a great event there. The slow beam sword plus 2k
It's a bit
and
useless right
rests
now
any character.
because there's no character left to rest,
Oh,
unfortunately. Yeah,
bit too delayed
it
there.
was probably in life, I would assume. So that's why probably healed it to life.
Laboon takes it 2 to
Yeah.
0.
Yeah,
Very
then
well played from
then
him.
those were some incredible draws in the early game. Like in game 2, you just saw like stage and tree searcher into Sanji Pudding, Frankie, into Luffy Taro Sanji Pudding, and in game 1 it was similar. So just overwhelming RJ, who couldn't keep up with all of these 8K swings.
Absolutely.
Oh,
He
yeah.
just played it so well there.